Hey folks, it's Darrell. Let me get situated here so you can see my logo back there. Hey, it's Darrell with the Back 40 broadcast, meeting you here every Wednesday right where you are. And we would love to hear where you are when you're watching this. Are you watching it from work? Are you watching it from home? Are you watching it on the recordings? We have a whole bunch of these that we've been putting together over the last few months. Really, every week coming here to meet you wherever you are, or if you're watching it on live stream later, to empower you in creating your second half of life as your best half. And please reach out to us. Send us an email. Send it to Darrell at the Back 40. Send it to Alexandra at the Back 40. Send it to Alicia at the Back 40. Let us know what you're getting out of these weekly broadcasts, what sticks for you, maybe what you would like to see more of, because this is 15 to 20 minutes every week where we just want to give you a nugget or a nudge to support you in moving into the second half of life really as your best half. And like Frank Sinatra sings, we really believe the best is yet to come. Babe, won't it be fine? And we're also convicted for ourselves and everyone in our community and everyone who this philosophy touches, that you have yet to do what you came here to do. And you may be sitting on top of a lot of accomplishments right now, and that's phenomenal. A lot of the people in our community are very, very accomplished. As a matter of fact, some of our first programs that we did were all master's degree people that showed up in our first programs. And when we have a monthly Back 40 salon, and if you're here in LA, if you're going to be in LA, every month after our mastermind work day, for those who are in our programs, we have a salon that we invite just people to come be with us. And it's just real interesting what shows up around this community. There's a lot of very accomplished people, and yet there is this idea that sinks in with everyone, that really resonates with everyone, that we have yet to do what we came here to do. And so we're really here to turn around this whole cultural idea that, you know, your best creativity and ingenuity and your best career moves and all that kind of stuff is in the first half, and that the second half of life is really about kind of winding down or wrapping up in retirement. You know, hey, cool. I'm not knocking, you know, people who have their purpose about retirement. And I'm saying that, wow, you know, with all that you've done so far, if you can turn that on, what's the next big game you could play, right? So we're really about creating playful, passionate, and purposeful second halves of life. So thanks for joining us. However you do, shoot an email to us. Go to the Back 40 on Facebook. Go to our website, theback40.com. We got tons of blogs there of really cool stuff about how your mind starts or can transition. If you're open to some of the things that we teach here, if your mind can start to transition into letting go of a lot of mindsets or things that have kept us maybe not playing as big in the first half of life. This second half is really for playing really big. So go look at our blogs, look at our programs that we have coming up. If you're around LA, come to our monthly mastermind. If not our mastermind, but our wine and cheese salon that we have monthly. Just go to theback40.com, sign up to receive our newsletter, sign up to get updates, and we would love to keep you posted. So here's what we're going to be talking about today. If you get my weekly newsletter that comes out 2 hours before the broadcast, you'll always know what we're talking about. But we're going to be talking about being busy. And look at that. I was so busy in putting this together at the last minute that I have two quote marks at the beginning. But I like this from Thomas Edison. I mean, hey, he's, you know, the god of creativity and industry and ingenuity. Being busy does not always mean real work. The object of all work is production or accomplishment. And to either of these ends, there must be forethought, system, planning, intelligence, and honest purpose, as well as perspiration. Seeming to do is not doing. Now, again, that's awesome, awesome, this is what we're talking about here today. That's awesome advice. And, when you read that right here, when you read that, it's like, okay, man, I need to take a breath, right? And again, this was at the turn of the century, and this is where the big, Andrew Carnegie's, and there was a very different industrial mindset, going on then. And I'm not knocking anything he has to say there. And I think in this day and age, what we also want to find in the busyness and the growth is this sense of play. And I bring this up because things are getting busy here for me and Alexandra, as we're building the Back 40, as we're building more services around coaching and what we're offering. Things are getting really busy, and I can even notice myself sometimes getting like, oh wow, when's there going to be a break? And the truth is, I hope there's not. Because that's what we're here for, right? To get busy, and of course it means that we have to put new systems in place, just like Thomas Edison's saying here. It's like, we got to plan better. And what I guess I'm noticing for myself is I really want to transform my relationship with being busy. Let me just say something real quick before we go on. I want to show this. If you do plan a big game in the next year, just like we're talking about here, if you're playing a big game, then there's ways that you're going to be pushed to your edge, and that's what we want. We want to be pushed to our edge so that we get to the next level, so that we develop the new insights or the new systems or the new ways of operating. Because if we get to the edge and then we fall back, then we're just staying the same. So we're playing a big game, and we invite you all to play a big game in the next year. This is kind of the last call for our big year creation course. It's going to be 3 Tuesday evenings in December, where we get together as a group with you via Zoom, via online video, and we're going to all create 2017 as a big game. First, we want to really look back at 2016 and acknowledge the accomplishments. And I got to tell you, that's a cool thing to do when you take a moment to really look back and acknowledge what you have accomplished, the progress you have made, whether you've met all those goals or not. And then to look at moving into the next year way beyond resolutions and things like that, but with a real big game plan to support you in playing as big as you'd like to play next year. So if you go to theback40.com/big-year, theback40.com big-year, you can register for that. We would love to have you participate with us. And that's what I'll say about that. So let's just talk about being busy again. And I've already kind of dug into it. Again, as we start to play bigger and we really take on, see, one of the things that happens as people move into their second half of life, they become kind of, they can become kind of fixed in the way that I am, or fixed in, needing to look good. You definitely can't not look good. You can't have 2 quotes marks at the beginning of a quote, or send out an email that had a question mark after the quotes when it's not supposed to be there, right? That happened today, by the way. But the point is, you know what? If we're going to let ourselves play big, we got to drop this idea of perfection and drop this idea of looking good, if we're going to start to really allow ourselves to get outside of the box. And one of the big ideas that we support those who are part of our community and in our work is this idea of playing first. You see kids get together out in the yard and they'll be playing a game, and then another one comes up and they start playing a new game, and somebody cries and somebody gets upset, but then 2 seconds later they're all playing a game again. But they're all just playing, and they're learning. Even 20-year-olds, 22-year-olds, they don't know what they're here to do necessarily, right? But guess what? They get a job, and you learn, and they're not so concerned about like, oh, did I fail or am I looking good? Because it's all new. Yet when we get older, it's kind of like, well, I should know this by now, or boy, I sure wouldn't want people to see me, flubbing on something here. I got to look good, and and we operate from this idea that we got to dot every I and cross every T and have it all worked out before we even just get out and start. How many of you know someone who's going to write a book one day, right? Or you're going to start a business one day, or you're going to really take that hobby to a whole other level one day. So the point being is that as we get older, that I call it the all things possible shrinking world starts to close in, and things aren't as possible because we have the mindset of not failing, of looking good, of not making a mistake. So here in the Back 40, we say, we want to let that go. We want to allow ourselves to play, because if you haven't done what you came here to do yet, guess what? The only direction to go is playing bigger. It's not playing smaller. And so today, this whole idea about being busy is, we want to be busy. We want to be busy, and not busy running around like a chicken with a head cut off, but we want to be busy in productivity, and we want to invite the busyness. And guess what? If we really are playing at our edge, there's going to be mistakes and there's going to be breakdowns. But it's how do we deal with that? When we double book ourselves because we didn't have a system that kept all our appointments in place, or the ad that we spent money on, returned nothing. It's like, one, old way of being might be to like, oh, well, I'm just not good at Facebook ads and I shouldn't do that. No, it's like, it's learning. Okay, you got to invest, you got to learn, right? So the whole idea here for us moving into our second half is if we're going to play big, we want to start developing a new relationship to busy and a new relationship to the breakdowns that occur whenever we get really busy. So here's a few thoughts for today around this whole subject is, being busy is good. Yes, again, not busy without anything coming out of it, not just busy to be busy. And, if business is picking up, if you ever read The E-Myth by Michael Gerber, it's a great story about the woman who loved making pies, and she just loved making pies, but then her pies got popular, and then more people wanted pies, so she had to put a store together, and then she had to build more stores, and she got moved away from building pies or making pies because she was, building a store and all of that. But it was almost like it was getting too big for her. And the whole idea is that we have to transform. We have to transform as we get bigger. We want to get bigger, right? The whole idea, I mean, come on, look at the word business. It's the basis of our economic culture. Busyness. So look for yourself. How do you react? How do you respond when things get really busy? Do you try to keep things perfect? Do you feel bad when mistakes happen? Beat yourself up a little bit, make yourself wrong or make others wrong because, things fell outside of the, perfect way and order it should be? Or do you invite, celebrate breakdowns as good, needed, and exactly what you wanted, so as to be able to see what there is to see to go to the next level, to grow to the next level? So here's a game I invite you to play this week, because we're sure playing it here. Let's get messy busy. I was once told, Darrell, you need to play ugly. It's like, what? Now you need to play ugly. Don't play to look good. Don't play when you think you have it all worked out. Play ugly. Just get out and play. Try some things. Do some experiments. Get into some new territories where you don't know what's going on. Let's get messy, busy, ugly this week and let's use it as an opportunity to grow from what we see. You know, get a buddy. It's always better to get a buddy because you won't do this on your own, number one. Number two, you want a buddy that helps get outside of your mind. Because whereas you might say, oh, I can never do that. I just, I couldn't stand it if I didn't do well or I failed or I didn't look good. And your buddy's like, give it a try. What are you going to lose, right? So get a buddy. Find a place in your life. It could be at your work. It could be in a project you're working on or something in your personal life. Turn on the burner high. Just find a way to turn the burner on high. Get really busy and go for breaking something down. Actually go for it. Like push whatever it is to the edge. Push it to the limit. See what it can withstand. You know, it's kind of like a rocket coming back into the atmosphere. It can withstand a certain amount of heat, a certain amount of pressure, you know, and obviously we don't want the rocket to blow up. But what we do want right now with this game this week is, yeah, we want to blow something up. Let's see if we can blow something up, and let's see what we can learn from what broke. See what systems or organization is needed to hold the volume. Because if we haven't pressed to the edge, guess what? We're going to keep our thermostat of activity right where it is. So let's see what we can break. Let's see what we can put in place so that as we ideally get busier and as we grow more in whatever we're here to do, it can withstand. It can withstand the pressure. Follow up with your buddy and share what you see and post what you see on the Facebook community. Oh, that's old. Never mind. There was another quote by Bob Dylan that I included in the email today. And it said something like, he is busy either growing or dying. So it's like we want to look to see what is our attitude towards busyness. Do we treat it like growth? Are we excited about it? Or are we trying to keep it under wraps and try to do it right? So hopefully there's a few ideas here that'll support you this week. We invite you to come join us at theback40.com, see what we're up to, shoot us an email, let us know what you're getting out of these broadcasts. Have an awesome and radical week. Happy late Thanksgiving, and we will see you. Be sure, if you didn't see it before, and if you're just joining us right now, be sure to come on to our, to join us on, where is this? It's not working. Be sure to join us on our Big Year Creation course. Go to theback40.com/big-year. We want to play a big game with you. We're looking for a big year, and we look forward to you having a big year too. So stay radical. See you next week.
It's a long rise that's calling me to wake up to what I want to be. It's my time.